Muchas veces vemos con el modo de nuestro mundo, no con la mente de Dios. Pero en las escrituras de ese fin de semana, escuchamos en todas nuestras lecturas que necesitamos tener la mente de Dios. Es muy fácil para tener depresión y anxiety y otras cosas de nuestro mundo que no vemos con la mente de Dios. En nuestra primera lectura de los Reyes, escuchamos de la vida de Elías. Elijah had given up. I can give nothing more. Es todo. No tengo más. Dios, estoy listo por cielo. Pero God's response was, no estoy listo por usted, Elías. Solo necesitas una siesta. Pienso que por nosotros, algunos de nosotros necesitamos una siesta. Porque es importante para tener un receso cada día, para cambiar nuestra mente contra el mundo y con la mente de Dios. And after Elijah woke up from his nap, he was given by the angel of the Lord food for the journey. It's interesting that the Lord feeds us for our journey as well. He says, Yo soy el pan de vida. I am the bread of life. Unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink of his blood, you have no life within you. That when we come to this place to celebrate the liturgy of the Eucharist, recibimos el cuerpo y la sangre de Cristo para fuerza para vivir en el mundo, para ayudarnos con las cosas malas en el mundo. Pero muchas veces olvidamos esto. Entonces escuchamos en nuestra segunda lectura de San Pablo a los Efesios: Be imitators of God as beloved children and live in love. All bitterness, all fury, all anger, all shouting, all reviling must be removed from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another. Be compassionate, forgiving one another as God has forgiven you. And that's important, to not just forgive, pero perdonar el mismo que Dios perdonarnos. No difícil, diferente. Es difícil para perdonar el mismo que Dios. Because God's love is unconditional. Nuestra experiencia de amor tiene condiciones. I'll love you when. I'll love you if you do this for me. I'll love you because you've done something for me. Aprendimos esto en nuestra juventud, de nuestros padres. Now, they don't try to teach us that conditional love, but many times that's how we experience it. When do you get in trouble? When you don't do what you're told to do. But when you do what you're asked to do, what happens? Te amo, gracias. Un niño perfecta, gracias a Dios. Otras veces, no. La chancla. And when that happens, what we understand becomes that when we do something wrong, pensamos que nuestros padres no tienen amor por nosotros. Pero es una mentira. But that's what we think many times, that our family doesn't love us. When we get in trouble, we think that our family is mad at us, that our parents are mad at us. Es posible que they are disappointed in us, but they don't love us any less, or they shouldn't love us any less. But many times nuestra relación con nuestros padres es muy similar de nuestra relación con Dios. Y si la única amor que experimentamos es amor con condiciones, es muy difícil para entender amor sin condiciones. Pero ese es el amor de Dios. Y en nuestro evangelio de hoy escuchamos las palabras de Jesús, que Él es el pan de vida. That He came to this earth to give us something that the world cannot give us. That unlike your ancestors who ate of the bread that came from heaven in the book of Exodus, the bread of the angels, that manna, unlike them, when they ate, they all still died. When you eat of the flesh of the Son of Man and drink of His blood, you will not die. Pero tenemos preguntas. Porque nuestra experiencia es que cada persona en nuestras vidas, su vida termina en muerto. We all die. When we're born, we have a death sentence to this body, to this life. Pero vida eternamente es más que nosotros podamos pensar sobre, porque no tenemos la experiencia de esto. And so it's hard for us to understand and not have questions when Jesus says to us, you will not die if you eat of the flesh of Son of Man and drink of His blood. Because we look around in our family and our friends, they die. And yet Jesus says, you will not die. Esto es el problema con un mente del mundo. Ayer en nuestro evangelio escuchamos que what have you gained if you've gained the whole world and yet you've lost your soul? You've gained nothing. Because when you die, everything outside of the love of God that you have gained remains here. But when we die, the only thing that remains es el amor de Dios. Y nuestro amor por Dios. But for many of us, our priority isn't on our relationship with God. Our priority is, how am I going to pay my bills this week? How am I going to pay my car payment? What school are my kids going to go to? What is my major going to be when I go off to school? Who am I going to marry? Am I going to get married? We have all of these earthly decisions to make that many times olvidamos la más importante decisión. Y la más importante decisión por nosotros es la decisión por una relación buena con Dios. Primero, esto. You know, yesterday I shared on Facebook a post that I think is worth remembering. How many of you would give your kids the option and opportunity to miss school just because they don't feel like going? Most of us would say, no, you're going to school. Sorry, go. And yet, when it comes to Mass, which is more important than anything you will learn in school, no me gusta misa. Es muy aburrido. No me gusta misa. No experiencia el amor de Dios. I don't get anything out of it. Why do I have to go to Mass? It's a good question. And the answer, I think, should be because I love you. This should be mom and dad's answer for the kids, or husband's answer to wives, or wives' answers to husbands, or kids' answers to parents when they don't want to go to Mass. Our answers to each other should be, I love you, te amo, entonces necesitamos atender misa cada vez que es posible. Porque necesito recibir la Eucaristía, el cuerpo y la sangre de Cristo, para ayudarme para vivir en el mundo, para ayudarme en la batalla de pecado en el mundo, to help me just get out of bed some mornings. Necesitamos el amor de Dios por todos. Pero no, we're not going to hear that in the world. You're going to hear, don't worry about Mass, you can always go next week. Don't worry about confession, you can always go next time. Esto es la mentira de Satanás. No tenemos la promesa de mañana. La única cosa que sabemos es ahora. We only know of right now. Es posible que en nuestro viaje de nuestras casas hay un accidente. Es posible. Espero que no. Orar por no. Pero por alguna gente en nuestro mundo, hoy es la última día de su vida. Y si hoy es su último día, ¿qué cosa no hacen? ¿Qué conversación necesitan? And what's stopping you from doing it? Por muchos de nosotros, miedo. Por algunos de nosotros, no tengo el tiempo. Por muchos de nosotros también no pensamos sobre nuestra muerte. It's a bad thought to have. Pero no es. Hay un dicho de los benedictos. Vivir siempre con su muerte enfrente de sus ojos. To live always with death before your eyes. Porque vamos a experimentar muerte algún día. My hope is that each and every one of us, myself included, will be ready when the Lord calls us home. Because He gives us so many opportunities to change. So many opportunities to embrace His love. Pero nuestra responsabilidad para recibir y para vivir esto. Entonces, si hoy es su último día, ¿qué necesitas hacer? Y últimamente, what's stopping you? Put it by the wayside, invite God in, and just get to it. For the Lord is kind and merciful, and He gives us what we need. Gives us plenty of opportunities. But many times we don't take the opportunity to do what He's calling us to do. Love as God loves. Forgive as God forgives. And live as a child of God.